Hey guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio here, and looks like, well, I might as well just review this article. Apparently it says, here are the 5 cable TV networks most likely to shut down in 2024. Including, already there's a problem. Seriously, FXX of all channels? Sure, they're not gonna do a Family Guy 25th anniversary takeover, but that doesn't mean that the channel is going away anytime soon, as it will always have its focus towards animation domination programming. And Boomerang. Heh, we'll see about that once I talk about this article. Alright, so it says, according to the one who posted this, my top picks for networks most likely to shut down in 2024. Universal Kids. You know what? That actually might as well be it, because Universal Kids, if you look at the lineup, there's barely anything to talk about unless there's some updates, and they are just returning Sprout shows. Nothing new! Nothing new to the network, it's just returning shows. And they would easily be temporary. Like, the last time they got a new show was, well, we don't count about, I prefer not to count the short form ones. The last time they got a show that was new to the network was Trolls The Beat Goes On. And it says, kid networks are being hit the hardest by cord cutting. Oh gee, I wonder why, given the fact that streaming has its main problems. There are reports like Cartoon Network's average viewer age is over 18 years old. Cartoon Network still has its audience, even though they really shouldn't have cut down those hours because of Adult Swim. Rest in peace, Acme Nights. And then there's sayings of the returns of classic shows, probably Checker Pass, clearly targeting older adults looking to relive their childhood. This makes smaller kid networks like Universal Kids some of the most vulnerable of shutting down. Yeah, I can honestly see about Universal Kids if that would ever happen for the channel to shut down like this. The channel itself has been quite irrelevant. At least Discovery Family actually found something special thanks to the whole Warner Bros. Discovery thing. Universal Kids, zilch, nada. Just some returning Sprout shows, unless the whole Universal Kids Resort thing. Yeah, the website has the resort page, which actually was surprising there. So I might as well move on to see on what number 2 is, and already I'm seeing it. So number 2, FXX is chosen. Now, this is absolutely very unlikely, because FXX still brings some good ratings. Family Guy really brings in those ratings. So does The Simpsons. So easily, without a doubt, FXX is still thriving. Yeah, Adult Swim beat right to it thanks to the whole Spectrum thing, but then again, Spectrum is terrible in the recent things, like cord-cutting measures and just that whole Disney dispute is just unbearable. But why FXX? That doesn't make any sense. This is the animation domination network we are talking about here. FXX is going pretty strong, especially with those ratings on Family Guy. This is a poor pick for what I'm seeing. I don't think FXX should be in it. If I gotta be honest, Disney XD. Disney XD is the one that is most likely going to shut down in its entirety. There are only like 4 feeds left on Disney XD. FXX? Oh, that channel's still gonna go on. I'm gonna call it. I mean, it might be special to see them have newer content. Disney XD, the only thing relevant about that is the anime. And due to the whole Spectrum thing, it caused Disney XD to lose a lot of viewership. FXX can still manage to do it. But Disney XD, I have to say that it might as well be the end of the entirety of Disney XD, which is going to be a shame because I grew up with that network since I was young, and man, that anniversary, it's gonna turn 15 years old. My goodness, I feel old. But FXX, no. Just no. FXX is still gonna go strong. I'm calling it. I might as well see what number 3 is. Boomerang. Yeah, no. Boomerang is actually doing pretty well in its content, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon with a good amount of variety. Airing classics again. Michael, well, not just Michael, Dave Byer did a great job for what he did on Boomerang with the lineup there. Yes, it has some limitations here and there, but compared to other networks, it's a good amount of variety. If you look at Boomerang's current scheduling, it is pretty good in terms of modern cable standards compared to others, like MTV, for example. And, well, I'm very surprised that the streaming service is still here. Boomerang itself is still going strong, and surprisingly enough, it beat very well. And as a secondary network, I gotta say Boomerang is doing pretty good with its ratings in terms of modern cable standards. I don't think it's shutting down anytime soon, especially with those classics. Boomerang is doing a well done job. Oh yeah, that whole Max thing didn't help either because, well, oh my goodness, so many of the whole streaming thing on Max. Yeah, Boomerang is not going away anytime soon. Anyway, number 4, MTV2, MTV Classic, and other MTV channels. MTV Classic, I can see it, because it's not even on the Nielsen ratings anymore. I mean, it was the lowest rated network. They didn't even try. MTV Classic is not that available, despite pandering to the audience that wants classic MTV when it was actually a music network. This right here, MTV itself is mostly just ridiculous and catfish and some movies, barely some other programming. MTV2, maybe a 50-50 chance. I can still see it thrive, but MTV Classic, oh yeah, I can see that shutting down. I can easily see that shutting down for what is going on with Paramount Plus there. MTV Classic, yeah, I'm calling it. MTV Classic might shut down this year, or next year even. But MTV2, and the others, like MTV3, which is quite impressive that MTV3 did air Nickelodeon programming back then. They might stay for a few years more. Alright, number 5, I guess that actually does make sense in a way. Barely anyone has access to these networks that much, and I am honestly quite surprised about why these are still going on, as Paramount tried to sell BET and all of its networks, but the sale failed to find a buyer for a price that Paramount wanted. And Paramount is going to keep the networks. Cuts are very likely to happen, which I do see. It's very unsure which of these networks are likely to shut down, but they might not make it through the next few years, and honestly, I can actually see that. So, yeah, that might be the end of some of these BET networks. Overall, this list, I don't really understand. FXX and Boomerang is an absolute nope. Because it's saying the other Spectrum channels, Freeform isn't going anywhere. Disney Junior isn't going anywhere. Disney XD sadly might. But, other networks, I am surprised that Nick Music is still a thing. Does it even have the Marge Splat logo yet? I mean, already Teen Nick and Nicktoons got the rebrand, and of course Nick Jr., but does Nick Music still have... Is it still waiting for a rebrand to go into the Splat Zone? I'm very surprised that Nick Music is still a thing. But I can easily understand about the BET networks, and definitely Universal Kids, if that's possible, if NBC Universal is planning to shut down networks. Universal Kids might be a possibility, or that it might be replaced by something else like a DreamWorks network. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this article. It's not really the best. It could have been better, but I sadly might think about Disney XD's future. Anyway, guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio, signing off. Peace.